Hey everyone, how about one more one pot easy party dish? Hey everyone, so I thought since we've been talking about holidays and potlucks and special meals, all those things we've been going on, and it's going across all of the keto channels, all of the carnivore channels, all of the vegan channels, and all of the homemaker channels, Midwestern holidays, you name it. And I thought, well, we've done a couple already, and one more, right? At least, maybe a few more, right? But I thought one of the things that comes up a lot is New Year's Eve. And actually, it's nowhere near New Year's Eve yet, but we do like to meal prep. So, what a great time but to share pork and kraut. Now, traditionally, pork and kraut would have maybe apple, but I don't eat apples, so I'm using a chayote squash. I've got two large chayote squash that I diced up, and I did go ahead and I simmered it for about 10 minutes. And in that simmer liquid, it was the water. I put in a couple drops of monk fruit extract and about 1/8 of a teaspoon of apple extract. So that just kind of infused into the chayote a little bit to give it even a little bit more of that appley flavor that it already leans towards to start with. Also, the chayote squash functions similarly to the apple in that it won't break down. Okay, I know your Macintoshes and stuff will totally break down into sauce, but if you get your Crispins and uh, your Granny Smiths, etc., those do not break down, and that's much more what this is like. The other thing I have is a 1/4 cup of onion. This is a recipe where it doesn't matter what kind of onion you use. It all comes out the same in the end. I still have 6 more green onions, so I used a green onion. I love it. Then my kraut, I've got actually a blend of krauts here. I've got a regular kraut, and then I've got the red cabbage and ginger kraut from all of my pickle. Um, don't fret about it, whatever kraut you like. But I do prefer a higher quality. A homemade plain kraut is delicious in this dish, but the all of my pickle krauts are a cut above. Their brines are spectacular. Now, I just took my kraut straight from the containers and dumped it in, brine and all. If you are unfortunate enough that you buy cheap discount kraut in a can or the bag that goes on sale near the holiday, not the fancy name brand, you know, the cheap stuff that's like 99 cents for the bag on sale, $1.99 regular price, that brine is not delicious. I don't know what they do to that kraut, but it is not tasty. And it does cause people a lot of discomfort. And it's one of the things that make people think they don't like sauerkraut. Um, if you are unfortunate enough to buy that, instead of just putting your brine and cabbage right in here, your sauerkraut, um, I'm just going to tell you, throw it into a colander and rinse the bejesus out of it. You won't be getting the support of the brines that you get from a good quality brine, but your experience in eating it will be 1,000 times better, 1,000-fold. So, I mean, it's a huge difference. So that's my push to say, like, get the extra money for a high quality kraut. So the other thing I have is about a 1/4 teaspoon of caraway seeds. You can't see these seeds on the camera. Why am I showing you? Anyways, it's caraway seeds. You know, the seeds that they put for like in rye bread. Mm. It adds a little something to the dish. Be very, very careful with caraway seeds. It's very easy to use too much. Very easy to go overboard, and you already kind of got a lot going on. So we don't need to go overboard. You need just enough to kind of add and lift the flavor. It complements all of these things. So the next thing I have is my little pork tenderloins. Keep in mind, pork tenderloin, not pork loin. Pork tenderloins are actually a different muscle than the pork loin. They are both from the back of the pig, but the tenderloin is a muscle that runs along the backbone, and then the loin are the big fat muscles on the back. They're both super lean cuts of meat, so keep that in mind. All of that stuff, but the tenderloin is much smaller, and it is in fact more tender. It's very easy to accidentally overcook your tenderloin if you cut it into medallions. I did cut these up into chunks. They don't look consistent, but they are all very close in weight. So, and you'll see that when we put them into the pot. But I have 2 small loins. We're making several days worth of meals, by the way. This is not like dinner for 3 and done. This was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 meals worth. So maybe a little more once you add in the side dish, but nah, I'm gonna go with like about 6 meals worth. And in this container, I have Redmond's salt, pepper, garlic. Sometimes I make my own, sometimes I don't bother with the garlic, sometimes I just do salt and pepper. Again, you're getting a lot of flavor punch from the sauerkraut. The acidity of the kraut is being balanced by your chayote, or if you're not keto and you don't have to worry about that, your apple. And your onion plays right into that. The caraway is also another flavor and uplifting, so you really just need that the salt and pepper to season up your meat. The other thing I have, and I'm going to go ahead and dump this right into the Instapot, is a half cup of chicken stock. Now, if you want to be fancy about it, you might get a teensy smidge more flavor if you were to put a little bit of fat in the bottom of this Instapot and heat it up and then give a quick sear onto your tenderloin. But for me, while it is delicious, it's not so many levels more delicious that it counteracts the risk of overcooking. So I just throw this right into the dishwasher. Clean as you go. I say as I'm not going to do that with any of the other dishes. So let's go ahead and do sprinkle on some seasoning. You don't have to be chintzy about it, because one of the things that pressure cooking does mean you have to season more than you would if you were baking in the oven. You can absolutely do this in the oven, but if you do it in the oven, it's going to take several hours, whereas in the Instapot, it's going to take us, including all of this chitter chatter and explanation and carrying on, then you know, cook and then depressurize. It's going to take an hour. So 1 hour, 5 or 6 hours, or overnight on low. I'm just saying, for me, that's definitely a time saver, and I find it to be extremely delicious. So let me wash my hands. You know how I love to wash my hands like 8 million times while we're cooking. I was trying to think. So, by the way, if you haven't tried any of the goods from the Olive My Pickle, I highly recommend it. Oh my gosh. Can I just tell you, I've been doing the shots of their brine in the morning, and then one more at bedtime, and can I just tell you, it has straightened out my electrolyte imbalance, and my stomach has been really a lot more comfortable lately. Like, because I had kind of gotten a little off track and not been paying attention to tracking and maybe had a little bit of too many treats, my stomach was a little unhappy with me, and like just keeping into that habit, man, it really turned things around. And because they are so tasty, I'm just telling you, it was the best choice I ever could have made. So I've got my stock in here, and now I'm going to go ahead and throw my pork right into the bottom. I know that seems weird, right? But yes, they're going to go right into the bottom, and we'll just put it all around. You know, it's not like mission critical or anything. I just find that this order does well for the cooking. I don't know. It's probably fine if you put them on top too. In fact, it probably makes it easier to get everything out. But did we do that? Nope. We're going old-fashioned and right into the bottom layer. We'll clean this up in a few minutes. Just throw it into the sink. We're going to go ahead, and the next thing I'm going to do is toss in my 1/4 cup of onion. Then we're going to go in with the caraway seeds. Oh yes, that was tons of plenty caraway seeds. I know that it seemed like not a lot, but let me tell you that was tons of plenty. Then we go in next with our chayote. We're actually only going to put half of it in because we're going to layer it with the kraut. We're going to go ahead and now do half the kraut. And mixing our two flavors, you can see my brine washing in there. There's a lot of fluid in here. I know that I only put 1 cup of chicken broth, but there's easily like a full cup of brine. So if you got the cheap kraut and you need to somehow make it work in this dish, instead of a half cup of the chicken stock, you're going to want to use a full cup because you will want that liquid. It already smells good, you guys. Like, have you ever noticed that sometimes when even though you haven't cooked anything, just from the stirring around and cutting up the ingredients, stuff smells good? That's this dish. It smells fantastic. And I'm just going to top off with the rest of my chayote. Give it maybe a little toss with the kraut so that they blend together a bit. It's not that critical. You don't have to fuss about, but I am one of those people who likes to fuss about, so there we go. And I'll just tilt this so you can see. But there you go. That's what it looks like. So the tenderloin is on the bottom and covered thoroughly, and the liquid, my little catch-all thing came off. I never have anything leak into this little catch-all thing, so I don't even know why I bother trying to put it on there, but so it is. All right, so let's put our lid on. Make sure that the vent is closed. Very important. And this is the best part. We're going to do manual, high pressure, and we only need 10 minutes. And then what's going to happen is we will let it natural pressure release for another, there we go, 10 minutes. And we just let it go. It'll come to pressure. After that, we're going to let it natural pressure release for another 15 minutes. Then we will quick release, and when I'm ready to quick release this, I'll come back and we'll show you the finished product. So I hope that you are having a fantastic day. I hope that you are having a day as delicious as mine is going to be here. And I will see you later this week. I'll see you in a few minutes. I'm saying goodbye like we're done. I'll see you in a little bit. Alright everyone, I'm back, and as you can hear, I'm doing the quick release. It should be done any second now, but I wanted to make sure that you saw that it's been releasing now for 2 minutes. It takes a bit to release all of that pressure. It's going to be a lot of liquid from the broth, the kraut, and the tenderloin all releasing their juices. So, and because the Instant Pot was very full, builds up a lot of pressure, and it takes quite a bit of time to release. It's almost there. I'm looking forward to it. A, I'm really hungry, and B, it smells phenomenal. So I wanted to talk about what happens during the cooking process, because I know, like, if you do cabbage, you know, you really actually only have to set it to 1 minute so the cabbage doesn't break down into an utter mush. Your kraut, because of the way it's fermented, and it has a lot of that brine and the acidity built into the cell walls, yes, it gets softer. It does not have the big crunch, but it also does not become utter mush. So that is one of the advantages. Boy, man, is this taking forever to release or what? But so that is one of the things that happens. And again, like I said, your chayote squash will maintain its solid form. It will not turn to zucchini sauce. That's one of the advantages to using the chayote instead of a zucchini or a summer squash, which would also be lovely, but they will break down. And so they won't maintain the nice firm texture that you're looking for. So those are just some little tips here. I also want to encourage you to enjoy a variety of flavors. I spoke earlier about your quality krauts, and you know, like I know a lot of us have Costco memberships. They have the Wild Brine brand. That's a high quality where if you go ahead and you have the kraut and the brine and everything, it's still going to taste delicious. Uh, my mid-range krauts that I still think are good, even if you eat the rind, the brine would be the Cleveland brand. It's kind of pricey though, but it is made here in Ohio, and they are really good. We've released. Oh gosh, the smell. And let me tilt this, or at least try to, so you can see how it's all come together. I know, it's a little bit harder, and that's definitely a lot of fluid here. Let me get myself a little bit of my side dish here. And dig down in here for a piece of pork. And move some of that off of there. So I've got my little medallion here. Oh, look at that. And I'll just show you, it's completely fork tender. So no worries there. You're not going to get up with something rubbery or unpleasant. It's just a fork. And let me grab a little piece of pork and some of the kraut and a piece of chayote for a bite that's too big for my mouth, but who cares because I've been dying. We'll turn this off so I can let it start to cool down and package it all up. Delightful. And so now you have your pork and kraut, your lovely dish that you have been waiting for, that will bring you good luck all year on New Year's Eve, or at least make you popular at the party. So you guys have an amazing day. I look forward to seeing you on our live stream on Sunday. I hope you enjoy the Cheese Friday video upcoming. And if you are new to Radical Geek, make sure you hit the subscribe button and then the little bell icon that will notify you when I upload or go live. Phew, all the advertisements out of the way. All right, I'm going to go have my lunch. Bye-bye.